life expand, let me just tell you, we are very grateful and thankful for that. And so here's what I want to talk to you about tonight. Listen, if you intend on making this a phenomenal year, if you intend on breaking some barriers, if you intend on getting to the next level, one of the things that's absolutely necessary is that you need to kill the distractions. If you're a note taker, I want you to write this down. Kill the distractions. Listen, nothing out there will rob you of your goals and your dreams. Nothing out there will rob you more of the things that mean the most to you. And I'm talking about the quality relationships, the relationship with your husband, the relationship with your wife, the relationship with your children. Nothing will compromise those relationships more than outside distractions. Listen, your business that you're trying to take to the next level, there is nothing that is going to sabotage your business more. There's nothing that is going to deflate your acceleration. There's nothing that's going to further impact the bottom line than you allowing distractions to manifest, distractions to show up and take you away from doing the most key and the most important activities in your business. And what I want you to understand is this, that if you're serious about accomplishing your goals this year, if you're serious about going to the next level, if you're serious about raising the bar, then you need to be very serious about killing, eliminating, and getting rid of all the various distractions that are taking place in your life. And I share this with you from a place of really a great place of frustration, because I myself have noticed that there's been some distractions that have been showing up. And I'm realizing more and more that if I want to be able to continue to raise the bar, if I want to continue to make the level of impact that I want to make in my life, then it's very important that I find a way to deal with these distractions. As many of you know, I recently launched the Master Storyteller Academy. And so this is a tremendous 6-week transformational coaching program that's designed specifically to help entrepreneurs, speakers, coaches, authors, CEOs, and individuals that are looking to have more impact, that are looking to attract more high-paying customers and clients, and those that are looking ultimately to produce a greater level of results. It's going to take them through a tremendous process to help them to develop their story and work on their stories. And so here I am trying to focus on this program, this Master Storyteller Academy. And as some of you know, I also happen to own a couple of rental properties. And it just so happened that one of my tenants moved out of one of my rental properties. And unfortunately, because of the fact that she moved out, we had to get the property ready for the next tenant. And so I had to take a trip over there to go meet with my contractor and go ahead and tell him, hey, listen, I need you to paint these walls. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. I need you to do this. And then receiving phone calls back from him and say, hey, Andy, this showed up on the job. Hey, this happened. And then I had a couple of break-ins at this rental property. A couple of times they broke into the rental property because it's vacant. And I had to stop for a moment and say, wait a second, Andy, this is turning into a major distraction. And so I'm coming to the realization that even though I've put it off for quite some time, that maybe perhaps this is the time that I'm going to have to make sure that I go ahead and hire somebody as a property manager to take care of all my rental properties. Now, I tried to avoid hiring a property manager because back in the day, I used to buy, fix, and resell real estate, and still I have access to many contractors. I have access to a plumber, electrician, and so forth. So typically, the tenants will reach out to me, and then afterwards, I'll just go ahead and call the plumber, call the electrician, and so forth. But even that alone, even though I'm just making a phone call, the fact that I'm receiving these phone calls and having to deal with the actual conversation and then having to make the phone call and following up is ultimately a distraction. And so what I need you to understand is this. At some point, all of us in one place or another, we're going to have some distractions in our lives. You see, as I'm speaking to you right now, maybe perhaps one of your distractions is not rental properties, but maybe the distractions that you have right now is all of these amazing television shows that you fell in love with. And so right now you have over 10 favorite television shows, and you have access to these shows at your fingertips. You can watch these shows whenever you want on the internet. You can watch these shows whenever you want through Netflix. You can watch these shows whenever you want on demand. And so you have this laundry list of all these amazing shows that I'm hearing people talk about, right? And some of these shows that even I myself had to be very careful not to allow myself to be enrolled into these shows. And the reason why they have great ratings is because they know that if you begin to watch them, there's enough drama and suspense that they're likely to enroll you and get you to continue looking. You know these great shows that are out there: Empire, This Is Us, a new show called Star, and these shows go on and on and on and on. There are all these shows that are premiering, and if you don't be careful, and I understand, listen, some of you, maybe that's your downtime, that's your opportunity to relax, but you've got to find a way to be very careful so that you don't have too many distractions. I got a phone call just last week from my brother, and he called me up. He said, Andy, I got to talk to you, man. I said, what's up, Ralph? He said, listen, man. He said, how do you exercise discipline? How do you build discipline in your life? And I could understand that was a loaded question. I know there's probably something behind that question. And so as he was saying that, I started to think back, and I said, well, wait a second, Ralph, you're asking me about you exercising discipline, but as I look at your life, I've seen you exercise discipline. You're a phenomenal programmer. I've seen you had to meet deadlines. I've seen you literally pull 24-hour and literally program and sit behind a computer hours upon hours at a time doing programs. I've seen there be an issue at your workplace and you be on the task force of individuals that have to come in and literally go and program for months at a time to resolve the issues. So you definitely have discipline, Ralph. And I said, well, what you really have, and the real issue is, the thing that's keeping you from accomplishing some of the other things that you want in the other areas in your life is not really just a lack of discipline. What's happening is you have too many distractions. And one of those distractions specifically for you is that you love movies and you love television shows. And so what's happening is on a daily basis, you're trying to catch up on all these amazing television shows that you have after working a very, very ridiculous work schedule during your day. You're staying up till 2, 3 o'clock in the morning trying to catch up on all your favorite shows. And if you do that long enough, guess what? It's going to catch up with you. If you do that long enough, it's going to cause some chronic fatigue. If you do that long enough, it begins to affect your mood. If you do that long enough, it begins to affect your energy level. If you do that long enough, it begins to affect your productivity. So what you have is not a discipline problem. What you have is a distraction problem. There are too many distractions. You need to start cutting out some of these shows. I'm not saying you can't watch your shows. I'm not saying you can't watch your movies, but you need to start getting rid of some of these. And so I want you to think about your own particular life. That may perhaps for you, it's not the shows. Maybe for you, it's social media, that you're spending a couple hours every day just going on social media and literally trolling social media, going through people's different pages on Instagram and on Twitter and on Facebook, and you're just all day long, you go in and you say you're going to go in for 5 minutes, and next thing you know, 5 minutes has turned into an hour and a half, and maybe one of the things that you got to do is you got to fast, and you got to eliminate the distraction of social media. You need to schedule the time that you're going to social media, and maybe even schedule your posts using some type of software, so you know if you don't have the discipline to stop spending all that time on social media, then maybe perhaps one of the things that you got to do is schedule those things so that you don't allow yourself to get sucked into the vortex, as I call it, and allow yourself to have distractions. So for some of us, the distractions is television. For some of us, the distractions is social media. For some of us, the distractions are friends. And I'm just talking about any kind of friends. I'm talking about those type of friends that would keep you on the phone and talking about absolutely nothing. I'm talking about those gossiping friends. I'm talking about those friends that are looking to monetize your time and are getting you to engage in activities that aren't producing any type of results, or activities that aren't even relaxing to you. And so you've got to be very careful, and you need to know yourself. You know what Shakespeare said, to thy own self be true. Socrates said that an unexamined life is not worth living. And so you've got to examine your own personal life, and you need to start thinking about for a moment, wait a second, as I look at my goals and my dreams, as I look at the things that I'm looking to accomplish in my personal health, as I look at the things that I'm looking to accomplish in my business, as I look at the things I'm looking to accomplish in my career, as I look at the things that I'm looking to accomplish in my relationship, where are there distractions in my life? Am I allowing the television to take the quality time away from my family? Am I allowing social media to keep me away from building my business and doing the things that are most important to me? Am I allowing some negative, toxic, gossiping people to monetize my time? on the telephone. And not only that, but let me also tell you this, that distractions are not always negative. You see, you can even have some distractions that show up and appear to be opportunities. And that's right. There are so many people that they're in the process of trying to take their lives to the next level. They're trying to get to realize a breakthrough. And what's happening is they're having other opportunities that are showing up. And because of the fact that they haven't set parameters and they haven't set requirements for what's important to them, then what they find themselves is every little opportunity that pops up, guess what they do? They chase that opportunity. And so what ends up happening is they chase the opportunity for a season, for 3 months, for 6 months, or even for a year. And it ends up being a 3-month, a 6-month, and a 1-year distraction. And so as the late Stephen Covey said, he said that the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. And so for all of us, we've got to establish up front, what is the main thing? And when you're crystal clear on what the main thing is, when another opportunity pops up, you can sort of look at that opportunity and say, wait a second, is this in alignment with the thing that's most important to me right now? Is this in alignment with what I'm trying to make happen in my relationship? Is this in alignment with what I'm trying to make happen in my finances? Is this in alignment with what I'm trying to make happen with my health? And as you evaluate those things, and as you know those things, and you know what the main things are in your life, it becomes very easy for you to then know when something is really something that you should act on, or whether or not it is just a distraction. Listen, one of the most powerful words in the human language is the word no. One of the most powerful words in the dictionary is the word no. And I'm sharing this with you, and I can tell you and be very transparent with you, no is actually something that I struggle with saying. And so here's what I need you to understand. As you begin to develop your gift, and as you begin to increase your performance level and the thing that you do, that thing that you've been called to do, the more that you work on it, the more that you develop it, the more opportunities that are going to come your way. The more people who are going to want to be connected with you, who are going to want to be tethered to you, who are going to seek to perhaps leverage your gift and implement your gift. And as those opportunities come, you need to know how to say no. In other words, there are going to be certain opportunities that are going to come your way that, guess what? They're just not the opportunities that you need to act on right now. And if you were to say yes to them, all they're going to do is momentarily distract you from what that main thing is. They're going to momentarily distract you from writing the book. They're going to momentarily distract you from starting the business. They're going to momentarily distract you from qualifying for whatever it is that you've been trying to qualify for to become licenses. It's going to momentarily distract you from spending quality time with your family. You see, the more things that you say yes to, what happens is by default, you are saying no to something else. And you need to be very careful that what you're saying no to is not something that's extremely important. And so I'm going to challenge you right now to start thinking about and really start considering these opportunities that are coming your way and being very intentional of taking them through a personal filter. And you can only establish a personal filter if you are very clear on what it is that you're looking to make happen. You see, people who aren't clear on what they want out of life, they're always wavering. They're always trying new things because they have no sense of direction and they're not clear on what it is that they want to do. In other words, they don't even know what their lane is, so they can't even stay in their lane. And what I'm saying to you is you need to be very clear on what your destination is. You need to be very clear on how you're going to get there so that all along the journey that you can stay in your lane. Because all too often, you know what begins to happen? We begin to drift. We begin to start going out of our lanes. And guess what? I wish that life was sort of like these, these nicer cars nowadays. When you begin to drift and get out of your lane, it begins to give you a little warning signal, or your seat vibrates. It does something to let you know that you're getting out of your lane. And so, see, in life, sometimes you don't always get those warning signals. There's not going to be any kind of noise that's going off. Your seat's not going to vibrate. And before you know it, you're 4 or 5 lanes over and you're on an entirely different path than what you set out to accomplish. And so what I need you to understand is this. If you are serious about taking your life to the next level, if you're serious about a breakthrough, then I need you to get very serious and I need you to become very focused on establishing your lane and making sure that, as the great late Stephen Covey said, that you keep the main thing the main thing. And so I need you also to know the difference between the things that are major in life and the things that are minor. You see, the late Jim Rohn, who was a thought leader, a great professional speaker, and I would say really, truly a leader for all the ages, Mr. Jim Rohn. He's the author of a powerful audio program that I used to listen to over and over again called The Art of Exceptional Living. And what Jim Rohn used to talk about is, he said that you have to be very clear and you have to know the difference between the things that are major and the things that are minor in life. And he said the reason why you need to be able to differentiate between the things that are major and the things that are minor in life is because of this. Because many of us, unfortunately, we fall short of our goals and our dreams because we automatically and we begin to major in the minors. I'm going to say that again. Many of us fall short of our goals and our dreams because of the fact that we begin to major in the minors. In other words, what takes the majority of our time, what takes a great deal of our focus, and what takes a great deal of our energy are the things that are minor, the things that are not important, like social media and staying on there all day long, like gossip and being on the phone with somebody way too long, talking about what's going on and taking place in somebody else's life. We're talking about minor things, about he say, she say, and those minor things that 5 years from now won't even matter. And so some people have found a way to make their entire life about focusing on little tedious things. In other words, they've made their entire life about focusing in the minors, and they're trying to figure out why they aren't living a major league life, why they aren't producing any major activities in their life, why they aren't hitting any home runs in their life. Well, I'll tell you why. It's because all day long, they've put the bat down, and all they keep doing is they keep focusing on the little things that are sitting down on the floor, and they don't take the time to raise their head because all day long, they're just focusing on the little minor things in life. And so one of the things that we want to be intentional about is you do not want to major in the minors. So you need to establish up front, what are the major things in your life? What's most important to you? Is it your faith? Is it your spirituality? Is it your family? Is it your husband? Is it your wife? Is it your children? What are the major things in your life? What are the major aspects of your business? What are the major activities that you should be doing? Don't major in the minors. Don't get caught up in doing all the minor things that you should be outsourcing and hiring other people to do, because that's what causes us to miss the mark. And I'm not just saying this to you. Everything that I'm sharing with you are things that I have to repeat to myself. There are things that I have to be conscious of for myself. And so I'm sharing the very thing with you that I need for myself. And I'm just trying to get you to understand that this is the time to begin to kill the distractions that are showing up. And I need you to become seriously serious about hitting the mark. And once you begin to kill the distractions, what it does is it begins to free you so that you can focus on the things that are most important to you. It begins to free you so that you can begin to develop your gifts, your skills, and your talents. It begins to free you so that you can invest in the relationships that are most important to you, like the relationship with your close families, the relationships with your good friends, the ones that will pour into you, the ones that you pour into, the ones that bring meaning and joy into your life. And so once you begin to eliminate the distractions, life begins to expand. But you see, as you allow the distractions to drift into your life, like the television, the social media, the gossiping, and all the little tedious things that are taking place, as you begin to allow those distractions to filter in your life, what it does is it brings down your performance. You see, studies have shown, if you think about this, most of us, we drive, or most of us at least have a driver's license. And what studies have shown is that when you're driving your vehicle and you decide that you're going to either read a text message, that you are going to try to send off a text message, or if you're going to just basically try to look at your phone, that it significantly impairs your performance and your ability to drive. That there's a greater likelihood that you're going to follow somebody too closely. That there's a 38% chance that your reaction time is going to slow down significantly. That there's over a 25% chance, an increased probability that you will possibly get into a car accident. And so if you think about it, why does that happen? Why is it that something that we can do all the time, something that many of us have been doing now for years and maybe even perhaps for decades. Why is it that our performance goes down significantly? Why is it there's being more accidents and more things happening? Why? Because it's a major distraction. And so the moment you start convincing yourself that you can sort of multitask, you know what? I can go ahead and watch the television show and also work on my book or work on my business. You know what? I could go ahead and check out social media and at the same time go ahead and spend quality time with my friends and my family members. Listen, here's what you don't understand. Multitasking is straight up garbage. It is a joke. It doesn't exist. You can look up, there's all type of different studies that have been done by different psychologists, and they have studied the brain. And what they've realized is this, is that when you in fact think and believe that you are multitasking, all you are doing is really very quickly shifting between one task and another. And so when you think that you are working and watching the television at the same time, all you're doing is very quickly going from the task of watching the television show and the task of doing whatever you're doing on your computer. When you think that you can multitask, like be sitting with your family and on social media and having a conversation, all you're doing is going very quickly from social media to then trying to talk to your family. And what ends up happening is whatever task you're doing and you're switching from one after another, your productivity goes down significantly. You see, your ability to perform goes down significantly because you're not really multitasking. It is called a distraction. And so what we need to learn to do is begin to get very serious about creating spaces and sanctuaries around the things that are most important to us. You know, as much as I would love to, one of the things that my wife did not want us to do was to put a television in our bedroom. And one of the reasons why we don't have a television in our bedroom is because there's a strong probability that we would get into bed and guess what would happen? We would turn on the television. And so what that happens is that becomes a distraction. And so what that does is that keeps us from turning towards each other and having conversation. And so also it's been shown that when you have a television in your bedroom, it also significantly impacts intimacy. Because when you would take the time to be intimate, and the intimacy has more to do with than just sex, but also making sure that you're taking the time to talk to one another, if what happens is the television becomes a distraction. And so you can see it happening all the time. If you go out to a restaurant, you'll see entire families together and they're all sitting down. And so everyone is distracted. Everyone's on their mobile device. Just the other day, myself, my wife, and my mother-in-law, we all went for a walk with the baby. And it just so happened that we all had our cell phones with us. And every single one of us got distracted. I got a phone call. My wife got a phone call. And my mother-in-law got a phone call. And so here we are, three of us all taking a walk. And all three of us were on our cell phones. Why? Major, major, major distraction. And so whether it's your cell phone, whether it's TV, whether it's toxic conversations that are taking place, what I'm saying to you is if you want to go to the next level, this is the time right now to become very, very serious about eliminating the distractions. And like Stephen Covey said, that you've got to become crystal clear and make sure that you keep the main thing, and be very careful that you are not allowing yourself to major in the minor things in life. As Jim Rohn says, that you do not want to major in the minors. Establish in life up front. What are the things that are major? What are the things that are important? What are the things that I put significant value on? And what are the minors? What are the things that aren't going to matter from me 5 years from now? I could care less. And those minor things that we got to learn to stop allowing them to take up so much of our brain space and so much of our focus. And so I want to set some people free. I want to help you to take yourself to the next level. I want to help you to really be able to accomplish your goals and the dreams and the things that you set out for this year. But the only way that you're going to be able to do that is if you're willing to kill the distractions. And so I want you that literally when you're done listening to this message, to start thinking about the things that are important to you in life and ask yourself the question, where are the distractions showing up? What distractions are showing up in my life that are keeping me from building this relationship, from building this business, from building the things that are most important to me, and how can I eliminate those distractions? How can I begin to pull back? Sometimes it may just mean turning off your cell phone or not even bringing it with you when it's certain times when you're trying to pour into certain relationships. Don't bring it into the bedroom when it's time for intimacy and conversations and so forth. Or maybe perhaps for you, it means that you need to let go of a couple of television shows. Maybe perhaps for you, it may mean going through your cell phone and deleting and removing some people from your actual cell phone. There's some people that you no longer need to be talking to on a consistent basis. They're just a distraction at this point. Maybe perhaps it means that you need to start monitoring your time on social media and docking your time and get very serious about pulling your time back and just think about where are those places that you have those distractions and kill the distractions. You do that, you're going to the next level. You do that, your performance is going to go up. You do that, and you're going to accomplish your goals at a much faster and more accelerated rate. I'm asking you right now to start killing the distractions. This is your time to take things to the next level, but it's only going to happen if you're willing to eliminate and kill the distractions. Listen, my name's Andy Henriquez, and I'm so grateful that you decided to tune in and be part of the Show Up for Your Life motivational movement. I thank you, regardless if you're listening in right now via the conference call line or the live stream. I thank you so much for tuning in. And like I always tell you, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to show up for your lives, because if you don't continue to get serious about showing up for your life and eliminating the distractions, eliminating the things that are taking up your brain space, and if you don't get really, really committed to taking your life to the next level, then guess what? Nobody else will. You are the producer. You are the director. You are the actor. You're the one responsible for this personal script that you're living out called your life. And you are responsible as to whether or not that this is going to be an awesome hit, if this is going to be a powerful blockbuster, or if this is going to be a very, very sad movie to watch, one that is very, very mediocre. And so I'm challenging you right now to eliminate the distractions. And so before I open up the conference call lines, I want to extend a couple invitations out to you. As I mentioned, I just launched a very powerful, powerful program. It is called the Master Storyteller Academy. And so this program is specifically for authors, speakers, coaches, CEOs, and individuals that are looking to have more impact, that are looking to attract more customers and clients. Notice the word attract as opposed to chase. Attract those who are looking to be able to have more impact when they speak in front of audiences. Those who are looking to develop the kind of story that gives them the opportunities and opens up doors for them to opportunity. For those individuals, I invite you to be part of the Master Storyteller Academy. It is going to be a powerful 6-week transformational program that's designed to help you to be able to find what your signature story is and develop it and be able to practice it and be able to deliver it in such a way so that you can produce the results that you have. This is by far one of the most powerful skills that anyone could have, in a skill set that has produced a lot of amazing results in my personal life and has allowed me to build and establish a business. And so what I'm saying to you is, if you're ready to go to the next level, this is a skill set that you need to get seriously serious about. And so if you're interested in learning more about the Master Storyteller Academy, I invite you to go to the website masterstorytelleracademy.com. Once again, that is Master Storyteller Academy, all spelled out properly, .com. When you go there, you'll get an overview of what the program is. There's a place where you can go ahead and fill out a very quick application, and someone from my office will contact you within 48 hours to set you up for an appointment with someone on my team to give you the details for the Master Storyteller Academy so that you can have enough information so that you will be able to determine whether or not that this is a good program and a good fit for you. And if you are going to be one of only 10 people that I'm going to be working with in the Master Storyteller Academy. And so I extend that invitation to you. Also, if you haven't already done so, if we're not yet connected, of course, you want to go to andyhenriquez.com. And when you go there, you should see a free teleseminar that you can get access to. Put in your name, put in your email address. That's going to allow us to stay connected. And last but not least, why don't you join our Facebook community? In Facebook, if you just type in Show Up for Your Life, you will find a private Facebook group. There's about 970 people in that group. And if you go ahead and send us a request, you'll go ahead and be 971. And it'll be a way for you to join the community, see some of the other people who've been part of the Show Up for Your Life movement, and connect with some of those people as well, and allow me to connect with you. You know, the beautiful thing about social media allows us to see faces, learn a little more about one another, and be able to stay connected with one another. And so a shortcut to there is you can either be in Facebook and type in Show Up For Your Life, find that private group, send a request to join the group, or if you prefer, you can just open up a separate web browser, type in the word Show Up Group, showupgroup.com, and that would give you a shortcut to the website, and you can send us a very quick request to join the group, and we'll be more than happy to let you to come in. I want to give a shout out to